Hello, my name's Carole. This is my channel So Carole, and in this short video I'm going to be recapping my most memorable makes for 2023. Now this might not necessarily be my most complicated makes, in fact none of them are very complicated at all, but they're the ones that evoke the best memories for me for 2023 and sharing them with you on this channel. So should we see what my 5 favourite are? And I'd love to get your feedback at the end of this video. I'll show you the patterns that I used to create the makes and also the makes, and if I can dig out the photos of me wearing them I will show those too. First of all, I'm going to leave the best to last, so this is number 5 in a way, not number 1. I will start off with the Largo Cargo fake trousers I made in about autumn this year. I used 3 simplicity patterns to kind of create the same look, as I didn't want to go and spend a lot of money on an indie pattern and getting a PDF and downloading it, and don't do that. So I used these 3 simplicity patterns. I based most of the trousers was made using this one. They're all patterns I'd used before. I used the front pockets of 8841, which is an amazing trouser pattern, especially for a beginner or if you're unsure if you can make trousers. And I used the side pockets of this one, 9471. Now I made 2 pairs. I made one in a green twill, and I then went on to make a denim pair, and it's the denim pair that I wear all the time. And I have to say, I wore them out shopping once and I actually got a comment and a compliment on these jeans. Somebody just said, oh, they're really great. I've been looking for that type of thing. And I said I'd made them and she couldn't believe it. Now, I very rarely get comments on anything I make. So this is why this one is the one for me. I put that carpenter handle, as they call it, because they're kind of carpenter jeans, and they got the handle and the front pockets. That was the simplicity front pockets. I did put some back pockets on it as well. I tried to top stitch it. I put the side flap on with a button, so I really tried to make it look cargo-y. But yeah, I was so happy with these, and because they're not skin tight, they're so comfortable. I wear them all the time. So yeah, that was a real win for me. Now, number 4 is a bit of a different choice actually. I had a very light piece of viscose. I really didn't know what to do with back in probably about May or June. I thought it would make a perfect pool beach cover-up, and it has, and I have worn it so many times on my holidays because it's so light and floaty. I have no idea what fabric this was, but it was just wonderful, and it dries really well. I used New Look 6575, which was a pattern I would never have normally chosen for the top. Way too daring for me. And in fact, even with this, I added another closure a bit further up. So you had this one down at the bottom, and then I put a tie up there as well. But this turned out to be such a successful pattern for me. I then went on to make another, but this one is my favourite, my go-to, and it's so light, easy to pack on holiday. That was such a win. So that is going to be my number 4 choice. The next one, number 3, is, I have to say, I really enjoyed making this, but it's a bit sad in a way. It was a collab I did with the wonderful Jen from One Girl Creates. She used to have a channel called One Girl and Her Machine, and then changed it to One Girl Creates. Sadly, she became a teacher in September and has been so busy she just hasn't been able to produce, probably not even videos anymore. But in the spring, I think, of this year, this pattern here was so popular. The Friday Pattern Company Patina blouse, everybody was making it. And if you know my channel, you know I'm not an indie pattern maker normally, unless I can get hold of a physical pattern. This one did have one, and the lovely Jen challenged me to make it up because I was saying about it. I made it and I was so happy with it. It was wonderful actually, because we actually met in our Patina blouses, and we met for coffee. We had a little bit of a fabric shop. It was super, and I really look back fondly on that. But I wear this blouse. This is my posh spring summer blouse. If I need to look a bit sort of upscale, then this is the one that I dug out. I made it in a viscose chalet. I really didn't know whether I'd like that deep collar, but I did. I did the higher version. I really didn't know if I'd like it, but I really, really do. It's beautiful. I think it looks classy with anything. And this one was a winner for me, which was unbelievable and completely unexpected. I did, when I made it, because my machine is dreadful on doing buttonholes, I used some of these dark buttons and I just sewed the whole thing down, because with this, it's got such a wide neckline, I can just pop it over. But yeah, that was incredible. Thank you, Jen, if you're watching, for challenging me, because this was one of my most memorable makes this year. Now, if you live in the UK or indeed Canada or anywhere across the world, then you will know that our King Charles, was coronated in June of this year. And I made a pair of trousers to celebrate that. I used Simplicity 8891, which I have used quite a few times because it's a really nice trouser pattern. Ignore the dress. I've made shorts and trousers from this pattern and it was really good. But I got this fantastic coronation fabric. Very London. You've got the guards, the flags, the coach, Big Ben. It's just marvellous. And I turned them into a pair of coronation trousers to wear on the day. I wore it with a t-shirt with, I did some embroidery on my machine of the royally official crest. I can't find that t-shirt anywhere, unfortunately. But yeah, I've got these. I never made them into the shorts. I did a lot of debating with you all about what I would do with them after. I'm not touching them. I'm going to put them away. It's because they really are a piece of history. And yes, I did wear them. I loved them. They were a fantastic shape on me and they really fit well. But yeah, they're going in the loft as a piece of history. But yeah, I had to include that in my memorable makes for 2023. Now, my top, my number one, as I said right back at the beginning, these aren't complicated makes at all, because that's not what I'm about. I'm about sewing stuff for me that I need, and yeah, I challenge myself every now and again, but more often than not I just like to make what I need. Now, I went to Florida back in March this year and I was meeting lots of lovely people from the Friday Sews community and viewers, because we went to a conference in Lakeland, Florida, and I wanted something special to wear for that day. So I made a very simple basic shift dress. You look 6095, and I know that's a real favourite a lot of you, but I managed to get hold of some beautiful embroidered chambray. So this was this dress here. Now, I have worn it again since. There is a tiny little hole on the front of it, which makes me so sad. I think a necklace must have caught it. But I look at this and I remember meeting Jen and Trish and Carmen and Izzy and Murray Sews and so many people. Deb, it was just marvellous. And every time I look at this, and I've worn it since, I just remember that lovely day that we had. Grace as well. So lovely with Grace. She used this, she made this as well, and it's beautiful. It's a very simple dress. To go with it, I made for the first time ever the actual bag that comes with it, and I got the rest of the chambray fabric and I kind of pieced together to do that. So I wore this as a set and I was feeling quite smart, I have to say. This bag I actually use all the time now. It's got a bit of contrast inside. It was my first attempt at doing a sort of tote bag like this. I love it, I use it all the time. So I've still got my memories, even if I'm not wearing the dress, I've still got my memories of that day by this bag. So there we go, that was my 5 most memorable makes. Now I would love to hear if you know, have you been watching my channel, and if there's something on there that I've made this year that you've really sort of thought was funny perhaps, or really bad or really good. I'd love to hear in the comments. Also, have you made anything that you particularly are kind of proud of or just made you happy this year? Thank you very much for joining me once again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching this at the end of 2023, then I wish you a happy new year for 2024. If you're interested of seeing what my 5 most memorable makes were last year, I'll put a link to the video at the end. Thank you again, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye for now.